Sam, this week's Explain the Grade. Jaguars left tackle, Walker Little.
Walker Little.
And
this one was a popular one.
Well, it's our fault. We did it. We tweeted it out.
I didn't.
Well, I'm not going to.
It's not my fault.
Listen, our social media, they're all here. They're all listening. They're watching us.
I'm just saying, it's not my
fault. I'm not
fault.
going to call people out. And, I'm just saying, PFF.
It's Gordon's fault.
This is where it's Gordon. It's Gordon's fault because there was a tweet that said Walker Little, 0 pressures, 60 in the last game. And we probably put a lock sign next to it or something.
Probably, yeah. So we had a few emails in, I think, and a few people
Is
tweeting
there a turnstile emoji? So we should be like, 11 pressures allowed, turnstile emoji.
I don't know.
Can we do that for somebody?
Who do you have to talk to get like an emoji added to the landscape? Like there's got to be, this surely has to be a thing, like an updating, a living, repository of
You can
emojis.
make your own in Slack, which is good. I got my own.
Right, so Slack,
emoji.
but who adds them to the Twitter world or your
Elon
text,
Musk. You think you just
phones and stuff?
DM Elon. I think you'll get that.
You just message Elon.
Get that through.
He's probably not busy.
Throw it on the to-do list.
Anyway, we had a bunch of messages. We had an email through from Sam Romero. Walker Little, Jags left tackle, stepping in because Cam Robinson is still injured. 0 pressures on however many it was, 50-something pass blocking snaps. But he had a 59.5 PFF grade and a 62.2 pass blocking grade. And Steve, that just makes no sense. It makes no sense. What the hell? How does a guy give up no pressure and have a rank average grade? What the hell is going on?
There's one missing stat there because he didn't allow any pressures, but there was 7 other snaps in which he lost.
7?
Yes.
That's quite a lot.
That did not become pressures. And as always, we're not. It's not just binary. Did you win or lose? There are levels of winning and losing. Some were not egregious. Others were. Right. There was a play where Khalil Mack late in the game tosses him to the ground. But Trevor Lawrence, he didn't get there in time. Like Mack didn't get there in time. Right. So it doesn't change the level of block. It was just the ball was out. Right. So perhaps we have win rates and all that stuff. Perhaps we should show win rate a little bit more rather than just pressures, because we do have these slew of plays in a given game where guys have these quick wins. And they're just at the mercy of either the speed of the play or the fact that the quarterback's working to the other side of the field or whatever it might be. So
we really need to add BDs to premium. Can you get that done?
No, that is not. That is not I am the head of football product.
Yeah.
For the
it feels like a football
other
product.
side of the company.
Oh, I see.
Not for that side of the company.
Okay.
I know who you could talk to.
Yeah.
There's a guy that could do it for you, but not me.
But that is, it's an important piece of context to these things. That the grade is not necessarily measuring pure pressures. It's that missing slice of plays as well that don't exist as pressures. And the reason those exist is because it's relevant to the quarterback numbers, right? Like you don't want to say, okay, your left tackle lost, the edge rusher is bearing down on the quarterback, therefore it's pressure. But if the quarterback is looking over here and he never sees it coming and he gets the ball out of his hands, he's not under pressure on that play. So you don't want that showing up as a good play from the quarterback under pressure, because it isn't. The quarterback is not under pressure. He's not changing his process because of pressure. He's just playing the game blissfully unaware of the fact that he's half a second away from death. Like that's an important distinction that we need to make, so we have this extra category of pass blocking or pass rushing wins and losses so that we can count those and not dismiss them.
The grade is accounting for all of these blocks, obviously. That's our point. There's a couple examples, though. There's a spin move that Kyle Van Noy wins immediately, but the ball's out in 1.6 seconds. Had it been, and again, it's not that the tackle is adjusting his pass set. Like, if it's a quick game, if the ball's going to come out quickly, but your job is still to block the guy in front of you. You're never supposed to lose in 1.5 seconds.
Right.
That's never a good block. So we have to grade that block, and we grade the rush too. That's why it's part of the reason why this whole pass rush versus coverage debate is an interesting one.
And also, yeah,
because I'm showing 7 plays where our tackle lost, and in turn a rusher won, and they didn't even put pressure on the quarterback. Right? Those interactions matter, and they count, but they had 0 effect on Trevor Lawrence on those particular plays. So it kind of shows if the team can't cover well enough while these things are happening, or if they can cover well enough, like that's what's impacting those particular plays because the ball's out of his hand.
Those plays are ones that typically separate or explain some of the difference between pass rushing grade and pressure numbers and totals and stuff between some of the elite players in the NFL. So Myles Garrett, I think for the second year in a row, has had an absolute ton of those plays. So Nick Bosa and Micah Parsons have quite a lot, I think, more pressure or more pressures than Myles Garrett. Now, Myles Garrett has a higher pressure rate, but the point is he also has an absolute ton of these plays where he wins and it doesn't get there in time because the ball's already out. And those generally are plays, I don't want to put a percentage on it, but a lot of those plays are plays where it's something else determining that happening. You know what I mean? It's not that Myles Garrett is just slow getting to the pressure. It's that whilst that's happening, his corner is getting toasted and the rest of the line is doing nothing. So the quarterback's easily able to just drop back, fire the ball away while Myles Garrett is whooping the left tackle.
That's the perspective, right? The difference between the viewer seeing this play or not seeing this play is essentially whether or not the receiver's open right off the bat, right? So in this Trevor Lawrence play where there's a 1.6, like the pressure comes in 1.5 seconds, if that first read is covered and he has to move to a second read, he's getting sacked. He's getting smoked by Kyle Van Noy, but the first read's open, the ball's out.
And in order for that to happen, like a cornerback needs to make a play at the same time.
Right. So if the corner has good coverage on that first read, or there's a late rotation of coverage, right? When the Eagles had 6 or 7 sacks on Ryan Tannehill a couple weeks ago, when you watch the film, it was amazing symmetry between their coverage unit and their pass rush, right? They win a lot of their rushes, but at the same time, Tannehill could not throw the ball right off the bat. And they had other games like this, the Eagles. The quarterback could not make his first read. And that gives the pass rush that extra half second. When they win, it becomes a pressure rather than one of these BDs that don't show up anywhere. So Walker Little, he wasn't bad by any means, but the 0 pressures allowed was a little deceiving because he had other losses that did not necessarily show up on the stat sheet. There you go. Grade explained.